I'm good.
And we're back.
We're back.
And Joe was eating some Raisin Bran this morning,
I was. It was really
Which is-
unsatisfying.
which is a really mysterious thing to do. I didn't know people actually ate Raisin Bran. I thought
Me
they just
fiber.
put it on the shelf so that kids would know that worse things are out there.
I like Raisin Bran. Wait, what's going on? I don't think Raisin Bran is bad.
It's not that
But it's
bad.
but it's just so bland and crunchy. I don't like raisins though. So I'm
Oh,
That's my
okay.
mouth sometimes.
I get down with a raisin.
I don't know. Raisin Bran definitely reminds me of why or how cereal was invented to make you less horny.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Look, my man James J. Kellogg, which I don't think is his first name or middle initial. I know his last name's Kellogg. My man was on an anti-masturbation crusade for a lot of the maybe 1800s. Again, I don't have much of this story worked out in my head, but I got the basics, okay? The man, Mr. Kellogg, did not want boys to masturbate, and he went on a fucking crusade against it. One of
Yeah.
the things he did was create a breakfast cereal, a breakfast food meant to be so bland that it would kill your boner for the whole day.
And that's cornflakes.
That's cornflakes. Like, they tried a bunch of different recipes and they kept coming out not bland enough. And they're like, we can go blander.
I'm just imagining this guy just serving test groups of men these bowls of cereal and then being like, how horny are you right now? Maybe showing them like an erotic photo, like before and after. Like,
I don't know
how much
about
does
you.
this turn you on from a scale of 1 to 10? And then you eat the cornflakes and you answer again. And, he tried a bunch of them and it's like, oh, they're only going down like a point or two. Then cornflakes, it was like, they go from like 7 to 4. And he's like, yes.
Yeah, but he didn't. Mr. Kellogg didn't stop there. He also, I don't know which order in which these things happened, but he also was partially, if not fully, responsible for the crusade of circumcision in America for non-religious reasons. James Harvey Kellogg, John Jingleheimer Kellogg Smith, he believed.
Logan Paul Kellogg
believed that if young boys would have their foreskin cut off, that would stop them from masturbating. Now, I don't know about the two yins, but like, if you cut off both of my arms, I would still figure out how to jerk off. Like, I would cut a hole in a mattress and fuck my bed. Like, I would figure it out very quickly.
I mean, there's sex robots now.
Yeah.
There are weird things you
We
can
live
do.
in the
I have
modern
heard
era
weird
of just
things.
laying back and letting a sex robot do all the work while you continue to stuff Cheetos and Mountain Dew into your face uninterrupted.
I need to get a
Is there
sex
the
robot is
corner
what
of
I'm
the
learning
shower
here.
is an option. Never mind. Let's move on from that.
But I just thought it was kind of funny, especially because this is a day of good food traditionally. If that's the only thing that you can say about it, is that sometimes you eat good food on it.
Sometimes.
Sometimes we do have to talk about the sometimes, but it's just kind of funny for Joe to be eating bland cardboard first thing in the morning.
I mean,
on this sacred day of food.
I need fiber. I don't know what you want from me. I'm old.
Well, if you start off bland, then like the turkey doesn't have to be very good later. You'd be like, yeah, this turkey's a little dry and flavorless, but I had Raisin Bran for breakfast. This is like...
That's true. Any turkey's gonna beat that.
Yeah.
Even like the one that your grandma like takes straight from the freezer to the oven.
So it's almost like cleansing the palate with like a handful of coffee beans or whatever they do. I don't remember what they do.
Which which Thanksgiving foods do y'all think are overrated, and which ones do you think are underrated?
You know, I'm pretty much there for all of it. I'm not a big stuffing guy, but it's because I don't like onions and celery, and that's all up in that shit. Like I
Just wet bread.
Yeah, I mean, like I've had once or twice I've had stuffing that didn't have celery and onions in it, and I was like, yeah, this is good. But it's almost always got that stuff. And like I don't want to be sitting there picking stuff out of this plate of 5 pounds of food. Like, no, I just want to shovel it into my mouth. I don't want to think on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
About a variety of things, coincidentally.
Yeah, like childhood, past relationships. These are things that I
Trauma.
don't want to think about today.
I was thinking bigger picture, like colonialization.
Oh, that too.
yeah.
Fucking A.
I mean, that's the man. We went
Yeah,
to first
I mean,
world
this is
problems
a
real
very
quick.
the concept of this holiday is cursed. It's one
Yeah.
of the worst holidays after like Columbus Day, which
Which-
thankfully is kind of died. So
Yeah.
now we need to kill this one.
We need to kill things. There should be. They should replace the turkey with a meatloaf, and everybody should do like creative meatloafs. We can't call it Thanksgiving. We need a whole new thing. We can keep the third Thursday in November, just because like I don't know. It's fun that it's always on a Thursday, I guess.
Also,
We
we,
need a-
shouldn't get rid of days off if we can help it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I was gonna say that part first. Please don't take away my day off.
Also, Thanksgiving being this holiday, we have to get rid of the name. It needs a whole new name. We'll figure that out later. But I do like the Thursday off because that means it's the one time of year where you're guaranteed to have a really wild Wednesday night if you go out, like some of us may have last night. Who knows? It's too soon to tell.
You know,
Too soon to tell.
We're still looking for answers. Scientists are working hard in the lab right now, behind the scenes at Velvet Butcher Shop. They are pouring stuff into beakers, trying to figure out what happened last night. Yeah, how often do you get wasted on a Wednesday? That is a point.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess New Year's will happen on a Wednesday or like, you know, other like 4th of July or something. Like, there will be a holiday that's on a Wednesday every few years, but this is a guaranteed Wednesday wasted session every year. If you so partake or whatever the fuck.
A lot of people say that Wednesday is the start of the weekend, but isn't it the hump day or whatever?
Well, I did not hump anything last night, but I sure did start my weekend.
Oh, I wasn't even gonna take it there, but all right.
You just roll straight from Wasted Wednesday into Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. You know
new
what?
name.
That should be the new name.
Yeah.
Meatloaf is
Thanksgiving.
dank. You fucking nailing it.
Now I'm just thinking about a high gibbon for some reason.
Dank
gibbon.
We just need a traditional day of just giving weed to your homies, you know?
Yeah, everybody rolls a blunt and wraps a meatloaf in something. It's fine. It's a great day.
I like this holiday already.
It's better than stuffing a bird inside of another bird.
I've never tried a turducken, but honestly, I'm into it just on a conceptual level.
It just looks gross.
It's interesting. There's some things about it that make sense on a culinary level that kind of work, but also it's too much effort for not enough payoff.
Were we talking about eggs the other day? I can't remember. I was talking to somebody on a Zoom call about it that like I feel like we should be able to try more different kinds of birds as eggs.
Ooh.
Like I've had a chicken egg, I've had a quail egg, and like I know you can get an ostrich egg. I've never gotten one. But
I've
like
had a
that's
few
about it.
interesting-
Like commercially available eggs. Like give me a duck egg. Give me a turkey egg. We have 10 trillion turkeys in this country every year. Like I'm sure they're laying some eggs before they're all getting their heads chopped off or whatever. Like there's got to be more eggs out there, and I want to try them all.
Yeah,
So,
they're out here milking almonds, and they should be
Right?
They should be getting turkey eggs.
I want a peacock egg.
Roasting almonds. No problem being late. Thanks for showing up, Inkjet, our new patron.
Oh
Thank you
shit!
for being the very first patron of our show. We appreciate you.
But yeah, like a peacock egg, it's got to look cool, right?
Turkey eggs are all right. Okay, so actually, you may not know this about me yet, because we haven't known each other for a super duper long time. But I was a poultry farmer for 8 years.
Oh yes, I did not know this.
So I've tried a lot of eggs, and I can tell you some egg facts right now.
Oh, let me lay them on me.
Now,
Do we have a
eggs,
slide?
some eggs like turkey eggs, it actually kind of makes sense why you don't really see those in stores, because turkeys actually don't lay a lot of eggs.
Oh,
There isn't like any variety of turkey that comes anywhere near a chicken, which like there are other types of birds that can keep up with chickens in terms of egg laying, but not a turkey. Ducks though can. There's no excuse for us not to have duck eggs available everywhere, because ducks are great and duck eggs rule. Another great egg is the goose egg, extremely underrated. Geese don't lay tons of eggs, but listen, you pay $10 for that egg if you have to. I'm
really?
serious. If somebody offers you a goose egg, be willing to pay any amount of money for it, practically up to
I
like
feel
20
like I'm gonna get punched.
bucks.
It's like a knuckle sandwich.
One goose egg is like 6 to 8 chicken eggs in one
Whoa.
shell. It's huge. And it's delicious. It's like the best egg I've ever had. And you can just make a whole omelet or something with just one. It's really fun.
See, I'm into this.
Yeah.
We're getting to the important issues.
I feel like a hard-boiled or like a soft-boiled fucking ostrich egg sounds really good.
A
But,
deviled
like,
ostrich
you wouldn't
egg.
be able to eat it in one sitting.
Ostrich eggs,
You'd have to
ostrich
come
eggs are
back.
massive. They're very, you need to have help to eat one pretty much.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
But I think goose eggs are tastier. Ostrich eggs I thought were okay, but it was mostly just a huge egg.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have like a particularly special flavor. Goose eggs though are like creamy. It's really special. Yeah. Like I said, pay any amount of money that you have to within reason to get
is a
one. If
weird
you ever see
question.
one for sale.
This is gonna be a weird question. Gator eggs or like
Never had a gator egg.
crocodile eggs?
I have no
It
idea.
seems like it might be a bad idea, but
I don't know. Can you? I don't know if you can. I know about poultry. Okay.
If you
I can
eat
tell you
an
about birds.
unborn amphibian, you're cursed.
I
Wait, they're reptiles, so you're safe. Don't worry.
agree with that.
Well,
A
this was
God.
egg facts.
All eggs, all the time.
All the time, eggs. But yes, I would just say in general, I agree with you. We should eat more eggs of different types. There's a lot of good eggs out there. It's
Hey, not to take
underrated.
us on too big of a tangent, but
Okay.
you know how like the pizza bagels they're like pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime.
Mhm.
Doesn't it make more sense that actually gives you an excuse to eat bagels at any time?
It does
It's
seem
like-
like you can already eat pizza at any time.
Yeah, because I've had leftover pizza for breakfast plenty of times, but
Right.
I've never had like an evening bagel.
Well,
Yeah, bagel after lunch feels a little weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I have, but that was out of desperation for food.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
time I've had an evening bagel is like doing like theater or something, and you have like some food.
I'm in a rush. It's Hell Week.
You have some food at that
Yeah.
for the actors or something, and it's just like, well, it's 6 p.m., but one of the only things that looks good here is a bagel with strawberry cream cheese or whatever, you know?
It's like it's not that it's impossible to eat a bagel late at night or whatever, but like you just never. It's like very rare that you would purposefully eat a bagel. Like you'd be like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I'm a little hungry. I'm gonna have a bagel. Like that doesn't happen.
I
don't
will
think I've
say
ever
that
done that
I'm
with
making
bacon either.
exception though for here in New Mexico, green chili cheese bagels are a big thing. And like if those are in the house, that's a anytime snack.
Ooh.
You can eat that when you're wasted and just super snacky at 1 a.m. and it's perfect. Mwah.
Yeah, sorry to wrap up egg talk by taking us on a bagel tangent, but
I mean,
Food is a big topic of this show. Like
a big
that's
thing here.
that's just something we like to talk about here.
We're hungry people.
it's a good day to be hungry, though.
It's a good day. It's a good day to be hungry. I cooked
my
my
God, what
turkey
was
on
that?
Tuesday,
Sorry.
and it's in the fridge right now. And I'm just gonna make leftover turkey sandwiches because I don't give a fuck about this stupid holiday, but I do like turkey. Aw.
Gravy has entered the chat.
Yes, we got cat action.
Want to put them on top of mashed potatoes?
Aw. Gravy, would you like to be a topping?
He says no.
Oh, such a precious baby.
She's a good kitty. She's a really good kitty.
And appropriately named for the day.
Yeah, this is her day. It's her time to shine.
When are you gonna get a cat named Mashed Potatoes?
Well, here's the thing. I started off with a cat named Beef. Beef was old. So I was like, okay, I got a second cat and I named him Cheese. And I was like, this will be good. When Beef passes away, I'll have Cheese. You can do so much with cheese, like the other. Like I could have a cat named. I could have like a cat named Mac. That would be cool. I could have a cat named Broccoli. Call him Brock for short. Like so many different things you could do with Cheese. And then Cheese died like at 4 years old, and I still had Beef. And I was like, oh shit, okay, what goes with Beef? And then I was like, Gravy. And so now I've got Gravy. She doesn't really like other cats, but like if I was gonna get another cat, I'd definitely call it Biscuits.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, good
That's a
call.
one.
Also, good dish.
Biscuits and gravy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll make biscuits and gravy today.
I
Sounds
really want
good.
biscuits and gravy now.
I support
I
that. I
regret
support
eating
that.
the raisin bran.
Well, this is Velvet Butcher Shop. Thanks everybody for tuning in so far. I'm gonna drop the transition screen in a second. Give ourselves a 60-second break. But before I do that, I just want to say you can support us on Patreon or Ko-fi, your choice. Also, just tell your friends to subscribe, log into your second Google account, subscribe again. Let's get to 100 subscribers so that we can get an actual URL that says Velvet Butcher Shop instead of like the
What does it
default
say now?
YouTube URLs. So we'll see you in 1 second. Well, 60 seconds. And then we'll talk about comedy.
Maybe
Ugh.
it might be comedy.
Maybe
Might be
comedy.
comedy how these were put together.
Maybe
because-
spoken word.
We will talk about alleged jokes.
Yeah. So the Grammys are coming up, which all of you know because I was nominated for worst rock album.
Yeah, I
this
was surprised
show-
that they started doing that award, and I was even more. I was like, "Well, this is a big swing for the Grammys to like introduce a whole new subject, and it's just the worst album." Oh, Kennedy's gone. I'll just vamp.
Yeah.
Kennedy, where are you?
There we go.
What the fuck is wrong with my internet?
And in conclusion, that is why you deserve to be the worst rock album of the year.
There, yeah.
That really gave me a little bit of a panic attack there. All right. Technical difficulty averted.
I've just been having these slight hiccups with my internet where it's just like, whoop, I don't know if I have internet, and then it's like, oh, actually I do. It's fine, and I'm like, okay, thank you for doing that during the show. It's really reassuring.
Just
Yeah,
bam.
so the Grammy nominations this year are pretty insane.
Yeah, I didn't look at any of the Grammy nominations other than the ones dealing with comedy because like I don't fucking know anything about music at all anymore, so whatever. But I do unfortunately know a little bit about comedy. Not that much actually, but I know a little bit. I am as a podcaster, it's okay for me to officially say I am a failed comedian. So yeah, I'm up to date on certain trends in the in the industry, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not true. I haven't listened to a single one of the nominees, so I actually don't know enough to really talk about it.
I
But
mean,
there was a bit of a notable addition to the nominees list this year.
Well, there were a few notable things about
Yeah.
the nominations this year, really.
Quite a few, yes.
Yeah, but
yes.
let's start with the worst one, which is because
one's
you're
the worst?
you're from the worst week yet. So
Hey,
you like things that are the worst. Louis C.K. nominated for a Grammy for a comedy album.
for best comedy album.
Apparently, that man still gets to exist in public.
How?
Oh yeah.
I'm very
He's out here.
baffled.
I'm confused.
I was talking about this yesterday. Like, you know, I don't watch a lot of comedy. I like watching comedy in person. I don't like watching it on TV or listening to it on an album. It's just not the way I like to enjoy it. So like I haven't seen a ton of comedy from really anybody. But like I've seen a few of like Louis C.K.'s like older clips. And there was some stuff that he was like talking about, like speaking truth to power about like societal problems and shit. And there were like a few times where like he kind of really seemed to hit the nail on the head in both a like funny and historically accurate way. And then so like when all this stuff came out about his sex crimes, like I think based on how he like was able to recognize in his past comedy, he was able to recognize himself as part of the problem with the patriarchy. I think there could have been like a real opportunity for him to like fully accept that, like, yes, this is a problem. I am part of the problem. You people love me and I am terrible. Like, even I am bad and I talk about this stuff. Like, there was a chance, I think, that he could have, like, not just said, yes, this is true, but like really owned it and like tried to like build upon that and like grow. And I think he honestly, if there was anybody that could have turned getting Me Too'd into a like learning moment and grown and like showed people that it's that you can like get better and recognize your part, like he could have done it, but he just decided to go full reactionary and like make himself the victim in this. It's like, you are not the victim. You did not get your show taken away because you're the victim. You got your show taken away because you're a fucking criminal, like a sex crimes person. Like,
You created victims.
you created victims. You created unsafe workplaces. You had fucking women like blacklisted from doing comedy. Like,
It's fucked up.
that's you, dude. But luckily, cancel culture can only go so far. He is now a Grammy nominated comedian.
Once again, back in the limelight with almost no repercussions. But the fact that sometimes people ask him hard questions about terrible things that he did means that he's gonna continue to cry and pretend that his life is hard.
Yes.
Very frustrating situation to be in. It really feels like the Me Too moment has come and gone, and that there will be no lasting repercussions in some ways. Like, at least not on that like structural level. Like, I think a lot of people have changed how they think and feel personally, and that like society has improved somewhat. But on that structural level, it seems like things are pretty much back to normal. Like a couple of ultra creepos went away forever, kind of. Although Bill Cosby then got out, so not really forever.
Yeah, it felt like Harvey
Uh,
Weinstein died in jail, and all of a sudden,
Wait, did Harvey Weinstein die?
I don't know. I'm gonna say yes.
I assume he did. Let me check my facts.
Sound off in the comments, listeners. Harvey Weinstein didn't kill himself. I don't know what.
He was Q.
Q. Harvey Weinstein is Q.
He's
Oh my
Q.
god. That's why he's gone silent for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, like it feels like the lasting repercussions are gone, and of course, like we don't have to get super deep into this, but like both major political parties like vindicating a known sex predator as the head of their party didn't help. Things like
Wait,
that.
what am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Wasn't Harvey Weinstein?
Maybe you're just predicting the future.
It's just like I don't know, it's just like kind of like the Me Too thing was like a very like liberal thing as opposed to like a leftist thing. Like it was very surface level. It was very, we got to get the few bad actors, and it's like, no, like this is like a structural problem that like, I mean, I've never experienced it myself as like a straight cis white dude, but like even in the tiny comedy scene in Pittsburgh, like I see this constantly where like if a young woman comes to try comedy, like, 22, 23, instantly every like male comic will like go and try and talk to her and try and sleep with her and be like, oh yeah, I want to help you let's write jokes together. And it's like, dude, like I watch it happen over and over again. And like, I don't even know what to do, because like there's one time where this girl like came and did comedy. She'd come out like 2 or 3 times, and then this guy was like trying to get her to come hang out, and I was like, this dude's just trying to fuck you, and then he's gonna be weird and like never, like as soon as he fucks you, he's gonna be weird about like doing shows with you. Like it happens. And she was like, yeah, but I just want to have fun. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what to say that. Like, and then like they hooked up, and she just like stopped coming around because like men make the scene uncomfortable for women constantly.
Yeah, it's a serious problem. So very disheartening that Louis C.K. just getting to walk back into the limelight like nothing ever happened, basically. In fact, he's worse than ever, because of course, like you said, like he could have tried to like actually redeem himself in some way. It is not our place to decide whether or not he would actually be forgiven, but like he could have at least tried. And instead he went the exact opposite direction. He didn't even just ignore it like some people. He went full reactionary, and like his comedy is abhorrent now. So not only is it disheartening that he personally is back in the limelight, but it's disheartening that comedy, this cynical and reactionary and generally unfunny, is nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not the only one. And there's a couple on here that are just kind of questionable.
Yeah. Well, he's the only questionable one nominated for Album of the Year. But friend of the show, Dave Chappelle, also got himself grabbed himself a Grammy nomination for Best Spoken Word for his comedy special 846 that he released in the wake of the George Floyd murder. Did either of you watch that 846 thing that Dave Chappelle put out?
I saw some of it.
A little bit.
And what I will say is that it's a bit odd. Like, it kind of makes sense because it is overall kind of a serious special, but at the same time, like, it didn't really feel like this is Dave Chappelle being someone besides Dave Chappelle, the comedian. At the end of the day, to some extent, like he still was telling some jokes and like trying to bring some levity to things and like doing what a comedian does when tackling a really difficult subject that's close to them, right?
Yeah.
In a lot of cases. A lot of comedy involves a lot of like tragedy and hardship and heartbreak and things like that.
It was
And
it was a strange special because like one of the first things that he said is that when George Floyd was murdered, people came up and asked him like, what's your take on it? And he said, I'm not going to say what, like this isn't my place. And then this was a special about it. So it was like very weird that like he started off by being like, I'm not going to talk about this, and just talked about it.
Yeah.
Also, like he tried to relate to this story about like he was saying like that could have been me. And then he told his own story about getting pulled over by the cops and recognized for being Dave Chappelle. And it's like, I mean, like, I know I don't understand how all these dynamics work. I'm willing to admit that I'm ignorant of a lot of that, but like you're a fucking super wealthy rich person. Like these are just, like you don't. It feels weird to have like a multi-millionaire talking about problems as if they even live in the same world as regular people anymore.
yeah, I mean, I think racism is so structural that I'm sure like people like Dave Chappelle still experience it at times, even within like his position and within the industry and stuff. And like, I'm sure he knows people that things happen to and stuff like that. And like that it does affect him to some extent, but also like maybe instead of making a special where you like make money off of the tragedy, you could like, I don't know, try to do something positive.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't. It's
I mean,
it's
I
not
don't
my
want to
place
be,
to say. Like
yeah,
I'm trying to like flesh out a half
I
thought,
don't
a
know.
half
It's
baked idea.
complicated, but it is like he's very opportunistic in some of his like things that he jumps on and stuff at this point in his career. And I don't think that that's too much to say, especially in the wake of like some of the gross stuff that he's been saying. Like he's opportunistically cashing in on the fact that a lot of people are into like homophobia that would potentially watch him and things like that. And so like
Yeah,
that's
like
what makes it tough is like if you're gonna come out and like do a social justice special, that's fine, but like you're gonna pair that with also like releasing multiple specials with really transphobic, homophobic, problematic elements, and then like kind of claim to be like a warrior for good. That's like I don't know. It feels grifty.
Yeah, and like at a certain point, like you have to realize that if you are every super transphobic person's favorite comedian, that like they're not just jokes anymore. Like you're festering the hate that is already there and like cashing in on it. And like even if like nobody can take a joke, like I'm just a comedian. It's like, I mean, you're fucking not. Like people are listening to you and they're clapping in support more than they're laughing half the time. Like,
well, and it makes it even more distressing for him to have this album that's being considered spoken word because it's kind of serious, and people potentially taking him like serious about like things that he believes politically, and then to also be doing that. That's not just jokes.
Yeah,
like you are positioning yourself as someone whose voice should be influential in politics, and then you're pairing that with transphobia, and that's like very unfortunate and unsettling.
Luckily there are some unambiguously bad comedians these days that you don't have to go through extra levels of like of nuance and ignorance to understand. So I sent the two of you a clip of Dave Chappelle's co-star in Half Baked, Jim Breuer, going on what one could only describe as a bad, unfunny rant. I don't know. He's so terrible.
It's hard to describe what this is. It's not really a joke. It's just kind of sad.
It's like, what if I could get really angry and yell about stuff that scares me because I'm an old man, but then include fart noises and call it comedy?
See, this is the thing, though. This is like kind of the conundrum with comedians. Like, you can't really... If you say something wrong, someone is going to point it out. Because you're up on stage, you're in the open, somebody's probably filming. I don't know. It's if you say something like you really got to go over your script. You got to realize like you can't say certain stuff. Even if it like appeals to a certain audience, like there's still a wider audience than that grouping. And I don't think a lot of comedians take that into account sometimes. I don't know.
I would argue that it's actually purposeful. Like this isn't something that they're not accounting for. This is something that they're trying to do. Is that like I just watched this Some More News video about it. It's pretty good. It's just about like why aren't conservatives funny? It's like an hour-long video. So if you got time today, go check that out. But
yeah, it's a good one.
It's basically like the thing is that with a lot of conservatives, they're not trying to be funny. They're trying to get their anger out using comedy. So like it's slightly different from like even from the starting point.
And it's like, really using the veneer of comedy, like the idea that it could be comedy.
And the thing is that there are plenty of people that will see somebody doing like an anti-vaccine joke on stage and be like, what the fuck? But there's also a fuckload of people who will be like, yeah! They're not laughing. It is not a good joke, but they are cheering and clapping because somebody's saying what they want to hear. That's like validating their fucking stupid either bad vaccine opinions or bigoted opinions that they already have or whatever. So there's just like there is a huge market for this. And even as a comedian myself in a smaller Rust Belt city, like there's comedians here that do like Caitlyn Jenner jokes that get booked on more shows than I do. Like there is an audience for it, and it's unfortunate, but like that's the reality of comedy. That's why I love doing comedy. I fucking hate comedy. Like it's really shitty.
Yeah. So speaking of shitty comedy, let's actually watch this Jim Breuer clip all together with the audience.
You know what? Let's go on this ride.
We're gonna go on this ride.
Oh boy.
Because I don't think that we can really sum up how bad it is. I just don't think
children in the room, clear them out.
Yeah, get the kids out of the room.
The kids out of here. They don't need to see this.
We don't need to see this.
This is a crime scene.
If anything, life taught me the last 2 years is we don't know.
He's so mad.
What's around the corner? You make all the plans you want.
Also, he seems wasted, kind of.
Yeah, he's sweating so much.
He's like dropping words out of sentences a lot.
Yeah, he used a promotional clip where he said, "We don't know anything around the corner." That's not a phrase.
I'm offended by that, and I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about that. And if you're that person, listen, man.
I don't know. I can't help but look at people yelling about how offended everyone is, and like, does he not look really triggered? Like,
food
he seems upset.
With that they feed us. That's offensive. We can't see the elderly because we.
Also, what's that weird comment about the food with the cancer?
Yeah, right.
He's fucking making so many goddamn noises. I can't understand the fucking word he's saying.
Fear. Thank you. I bet you she'd rather have that touch and hug and be dead tomorrow than do this the rest of her life.
I can speak for my grandma and say she would rather stay masked and vaxxed and social distancing.
You don't
yeah, I don't know many grandparents. Mine are all gone.
I got the
from
one left
a while ago, but I don't imagine any of them would trade a single hug for dying tomorrow.
Came in wheelchairs, followed me around. We laughed. They told their story. To me, that's offensive. But there's people literally walking around. Here's the thing.
I can't tell if he's doing an ableist joke there. He's talking about guys in a wheelchair, and he's like, to me, that's offensive because there's people literally walking around.
Yeah, that's a very... I doubt that's what he meant if you asked him, but like he really left it hanging in a weird way.
Yeah, he redacted part of like the veteran joke. I don't even know.
Your ass can't work right. And You just can't wait to go. I can't wait to
Oh my
talk
God,
about
this guy is just
subject with my
contorting
facts and
his
figures
body.
that I
Also,
learned.
what's up with this weird fucking filter? Like,
Yeah,
it's,
right?
it's
Trying to
edgier
escape.
if it looks like a
Trying to lick gas out.
VHS
You
from
can't lick gas out. That's so
1989.
unhealthy for you.
Back when comedy
You
was
can't hide
real.
it. We can hear it. It sounds like when
Yeah,
you
it's a
blow up
weird effect to
balloon,
be put on this
you know,
kind
you
of
let out a
footage.
little
Like,
tiny bit of air at a time.
I don't
That's
know.
what your
It's
ass
definitely
sounds like.
seems
am
like he
so
was like,
offended.
oh, what else can we do? Like in the studio. Oh yeah, no, hold on. This is the good part.
Oh, okay,
This is the
great.
best part right here, yeah. Yeah, really long fart joke. That's
Just kind of pulling it out of his
height of
ass.
comedy.
Okay.
You can tell this crowd is not like going wild for this
I
shit.
mean,
Because this
there's
is a big
people out
room.
there going,
Yeah.
you know, Bob, I'm losing.
It
I think
sounds
they're
like
just trying
he-
to
I'm losing work.
understand.
It
I've
sounds
been
like
watching this new
he's
thing on
delighting
the
like
news,
30 people
and,
tops.
I never really thought about it, but
This
I-
guy
I've
sounds
like-
like he's.
There's
losing my
24
sleep
people
and
in the
taking
audience
things
that are
out
like,
on the family.
yeah,
What's
and the
going
rest of
on?
them are just like,
You ever see?
really?
You know that toy? Yeah.
This is just.
Which kind? The potato head?
This part fascinates me too because
Why
he's
is it
bringing up
called
things that
Mr.
only
Potato-
conservatives talk about. Like, when's the last time anyone mentioned Mr. Potato aside from conservatives crying in their blogs?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
like one of those
shit.
things that like
Can
this
you
is why I
imagine
think
just waking up in the middle of the night.
I think this
can't
is
take
this is a really
anymore!
good example of
Why is
why
it called the
conservatives
Mr.
hate
Potato
leftists
Head?
is because they just think we're all liberals and liberals
Where's
fucking
my
suck
picket
because
sign? I want the world to listen
when
to me.
Hasbro or whoever like announced that they were doing this potato head thing, it was like
Meanwhile,
earlier
this
this year. I
means
can't remember.
Okay, never mind that. I
But
want
like
the
when they announced
potato
it,
head.
it was like this hollow gesture that nobody really cared
You know
about.
that song
But
by Dean
liberals were like,
Martin?
this
Baby,
is so
it's
great, this
cold outside.
inclusivity,
I
blah
think
blah.
it's
And
all
it's like
about-
then conservatives responded to that, being like, oh, they're trying to turn the potatoes gay or whatever. And like it's just all this culture war shit that is like it just keeps people like mad at
Babies
each
are being
other.
born
But it's like
stillborn.
I don't think many leftists give
I
a
think
fuck
Aunt
about
Jemima
potato
should
head.
be
Like,
taken up-
I don't know.
So,
This is just a bunch of
I'm-
fart
I'm
noises.
just,
Whoa.
I'm just turning that. There's like 30 seconds of it left, but it's literally just more fart noises
Mhm.
and him referencing things that only conservatives care about. Again, when have you ever heard any, even like most of the liberals I know wouldn't even bring up Aunt Jemima or
Yeah.
Potato Head. Like that's
A
only
decent
like the
person wouldn't do
extreme
this.
weird frothing like Eve Fartlow type bizarro world, mentality liberals even like care about that stuff at all.
Well, it's like it's meant as this like thing to be like, look, we're a good company, and like people that are completely fucking like bought into the system as it is are like, oh, this is great. Companies are doing these like visual things, and then they're like, oh, I guess the work is done. And so like when conservatives like hate on that, like I kind of agree with the conservatives because it is hollow as fuck. Like the company that got rid of Aunt Jemima isn't going to pay their workers more, give them better health care. Like it's completely just this like fucking surface level bullshit. And there are some liberals that are like, yes, this is a huge moment. And that's all it is. It's like, it's that very small thing that they think is they think that's what socialism is. Like, because I don't know, most of the time whenever they interact with a socialist, it's just somebody yelling at them on Twitter or whatever, or Facebook, or I don't know. Like there isn't like this base level understanding of what we're even doing over here. It's just they see these fucking Mr. Potato Head and they're like, oh, this is what they want to do to everything. It's like, I don't care what fucking gender potato you have. I'm like, what are you paying your workers? Like,
I do think it's a little weird in general to gender a potato,
yeah,
but
You able to gender Mr. Potato Heads now?
I
crazy.
think there's something to be said for the fact that like there are like a lot of toys and products that are overly gendered or something like that. But this isn't
Mhm.
really a statement on that. This is just a company cashing in very vaguely on
Right.
nothingness. Yeah, but it is funny just to have this
Somebody,
guy claiming to be doing comedy, and he's just bringing up item after item that, again, like only conservatives care about this stuff.
Mhm.
Like,
why is he
the
bringing up his
people-
wife's cancer? Is my question.
that was also kind of
I was,
Yeah.
bro. You're
He was, I guess
Digging
he was like
yourself-
trying to frame like there are real problems in the world and you care about this thing, which is like,
Is this a pity laugh? Like, is
Yeah.
that what you wanted?
also like being the fact that he's like, yeah, talk about my wife's cancer. It's like, it was very weird. He like
Yeah.
almost threw her under the bus to be like,
Yeah.
make a point about, it's very strange. I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Also, if you get
Sorry,
to battle
that just
cancer
kinda
for
stunned
12
me
years,
again.
you've probably got quite a budget for that healthcare that most people can't fathom.
Yeah.
You know, you want to talk about something that's offensive, it's that, you know, most people can't afford healthcare. That offends me.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
That
You know?
I'm triggered. Like
Yeah.
Why do you think this was a good idea? Like,
But
I
again,
don't
there
know.
are so many people who are like not
Yeah.
that involved in politics that it's like, you know, mostly I think the majority of this country is like, yeah, I'm a red guy, so I'm gonna vote for the red guy. I'm a blue guy, so I'll vote for the blue guy. Like they really don't think about it that much. So like
Yeah.
these issues that Jim Brewer is talking about are the kind of things they care about because they're like, well, you know, nothing's gonna change, but like they're trying to change things by getting rid of Aunt Jemima, and like that's fucked up. And so like there is anger in people that the world seems to be changing, but it's like the world's always fucking changed. Like this is what this, you know, whenever I talk to other comedians, I get in fights with all the comedians in Pittsburgh all the time because I'm just like talking about this stuff here and there, and they're like, "What?" But I would say that I'm like, people, when you say, oh, you can't joke about anything anymore, it's like, go back 50 years. Like one of the most popular jokes on TV was like a guy joking about punching his wife. They would make the same joke on his show, like
Oh,
one of these
right.
days, Alice, bow right to the moon. Like they made that
Right to the
joke on that
moon.
show all the time, and it's like you understand that that joke doesn't work anymore. Like a lot of jokes just over time don't work anymore. Like that's how it's always been.
But that
Like,
seems
this
to be
isn't
the
a new
excuse
thing.
for a lot of people. It's like it was a different time, so like that they're allowed to do that, to talk about that. Like it's just
Yeah,
some comedians get a pass, is what I'm saying, and it's just like I don't know what pass. Where's this pass?
yeah.
When who gave you this?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And
Also, nobody cares about Mr. Potato Head. Like,
Yeah.
what?
like I said, it's all this conservative culture war shit that only they care about. Meanwhile, the real issues that he's bringing up, his wife's cancer, stillborn children. Well, leftists are very passionate about healthcare, and in fact, even most liberals want us to all have universal healthcare at this point.
Mhm.
Also, like the veterans, the wounded veterans who are in wheelchairs, bringing that up once again, healthcare. But also on top of that, who's the most anti-war group in this country? Is it leftists? I think it's leftists.
Yeah.
I think if you were to poll every,
It's because we all
group
eat our
on-
Raisin Bran.
we all eat our Raisin Bran, and so we're not horny. Therefore, we don't want war because war is a product of horniness.
Why, what am I getting this label? I hate this. I'm being thrown under the bus.
This show's sponsored by Jake Paul
Raisin-
Kellogg, the founder of Kellogg's cereal. It's just ridiculous, you know. It's like there's so much just fantasy in the way politics and shit like this gets viewed in America, and it comes out in this terrible comedy that is just like about the conservative fantasy of what America is like, and like making jokes as if that reality is real.
Yeah. Yeah,
Pretty weird.
it's all
Pretty
just fucking
weird.
anger and vitriol that they're, like I said, like most of the audience reaction to Jim Brewer wasn't haha, it was yes, like finally somebody's saying it. I think that's what his special is called, like somebody had to say it or some shit like that. Like
Yeah.
It sounds like
First
an
of all,
inspirational speech. Like
nobody had to say it. Second of all, everybody on your side has been saying it. Like
Yeah, every time I tune into like a clip of some comedian, they're like on the Bill Maher show going, yeah, cancel culture, ruined comedy. I can't do comedy anymore.
oh, who was that the other day? It was Mike Lindell. That's pretty much a joke.
Yeah, the
right
My
there.
Pillow guy was doing the cancel culture thing just the other day. We were watching that. We watched that on here. Literally everybody on your side is talking about this.
yeah.
Freaking bizarre.
That's like the people who are like, why is no one talking about Medicare for all? It's like everyone on the left is talking about Medicare for all every day. Like
Everybody who
I
got
post about
canceled.
Medicare for all at least once a week, every single goddamn week.
I just had a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
What if we use this and we start trying to spread the messaging around that Medicare for all has been canceled?
Oh.
See? Now once you start talking about how there were trigger warnings for Medicare for all, that the libs, and frankly the libs did cancel Medicare for all technically, so it's not even inaccurate. Like, but yeah, if we could frame it as you know, Joe Biden cancel cultured your healthcare, we might be honest, we might be able to get a few people.
Yeah, Joe Biden canceled Medicare for all. It's a completely true statement.
What are we getting them to
Cancel
do?
culture is real, and it came for his entire platform of policies.
God.
The big wait, oh my god, big media doesn't want you to know this. Kind of also true. Like the mainstream media isn't telling you the truth.
Oh God.
Damn. Yeah,
truth
here you
comes
go. This
out.
is your new bit. Next time you're out doing comedy, you can do cancel culture now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do culture war, but it's just like subconsciously convincing conservatives to be for Medicare for all by saying how much Nancy Pelosi is against it. This is genius, honestly.
It
perfect.
could probably work, you know, and then the Republicans will pass Medicare for all, and then they'll be in the presidency for like 40 straight years, and the country will turn into absolute Mad Max nightmare. But you'll
What's
be able to go to a hospital. It's just that now the only hospital is 600 miles away.
I think the Republicans are gonna pass nationwide weed legalization. I think that's
They
gonna happen under the next president, who will be Donald Trump and or another Republican.
Who will be Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh
I
God.
really, God, don't
I saw a
even
picture of
say
them two
that.
together. That's like it's chilling.
It's a heavy picture.
Oh, that's
I also
so
saw-
scary. I don't like it.
There's also been like a lot of like Kyle Rittenhouse saying that he's like pro BLM in like interviews, and like liberals being like, see, people can change. It's like, dude, Kyle Rittenhouse hired a PR firm. What the fuck
You
is
know what
wrong
else
with
people
you?
can do? Lie.
Yeah.
Like, watch
Yeah.
this. Hey, I'm a billionaire.
Mm.
Boom. I just lied.
Hey, I'm a dog person.
Wait, you're not a dog person.
See, I got Joe.
You did. I was convinced you were a dog person for hours.
This cat on my shirt, ironic.
Oh, it is a cat. I thought it was a squirrel.
Yeah, I don't like plants or frogs. See? In fact, when
I
I think
know
about
that's a lie.
frogs, sometimes I cry.
The mainstream media doesn't want you to know the
See?
truth about
Real
amphibians.
Big Fibian.
Big Fibian?
What? Big Fibian.
Oh, I don't like it.
Big Fibian is turning the frogs gay.
Oh, God. It has begun.
Well, we've talked about some serious things, some funny things. Let's end the show as apparently we always do with some
Fungus facts.
Okay,
That's
so-
right.
what?
Fungus facts. For
I
some
have
reason,
it
this is a
pulled up.
reoccurring segment.
I promise.
Joe, today we were going to talk about a somewhat appropriate for the season mushroom, the turkey tail. Would you give us our turkey tail mushroom facts?
All right, so we have a couple different facts here today. So just bear with me here. It's a lot. It's not a lot of information.
Especially,
it's
you
just a
got to
couple.
get to the HPV study because that's just really weird.
All right, it's that. Should I just go to that one?
No,
Okay,
no,
I'll
go.
to
Just
that.
do your facts in whatever order.
I don't have a script for this. It's packed with antioxidants. It contains boosting. God damn it.
Immunobursting.
It contains immuno-boosting polysaccharopeptides, which is apparently carbohydrates. I could have just said that. It may improve immune function in people with certain cancers, which is very beneficial. It may enhance the efficiency of certain cancer treatments and may enhance gut health. But the most weird fact I've discovered about this thing, it may combat HPV. There was a study done that had 88% of participants treated with turkey tail. They experienced positive results, such as clearance of HPV, compared to just a 5% control group. And it also may reduce inflammation. It has antibacterial qualities and may improve athletic performance. May improve insulin resistance, which is wild. And those are all the facts. I don't have any more. I'm sorry.
That's all
Turkey
the
tail
facts.
mushrooms. What can't they do?
Mysteries that will never be solved. All right, folks.
There was so many words. I
we're
should have
gonna
just
let-
picked one.
We're going to let this be a nice, timely, roughly 1 hour today because we know people got other things that they're going to do today, but we appreciate you considering spending an hour with us here at the Velvet Butcher Shop. Andrew, you want to plug anything? Talk about anything you got going on?
Yeah, I am the host of a podcast called The Worst Week Yet. Kennedy, frequent guest on the show. We
show.
just put out a bonus episode from behind the paywall. That means it is free. And it's all about Thanksgiving, except it's also about like 10 other things. It's a very stupid, goofy conversation where we just went off on tangents. We talked about gourds a lot. We made a lot of puns based on the song The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And that's available for free anywhere you find podcasts. Just search The Worst Week Yet or go to worstweekyet.com.
I love it. It's a great
Nice.
show, folks. It's a great show. There's a reason
Great
why
show.
I'm on it all the
Really
time.
is a good show.
Yeah, and thank you for tuning in here. This is Velvet Butcher Shop. We are live Monday to Friday at 1 Eastern. Also, you can catch the recordings both in audio and video form forever on Spotify and YouTube. If you want to support the show, the easiest thing you could do is just like every single freaking video that we've made so far. Just go do that right now. It'll take you like 30 seconds and it'll make me really happy. Also, tell your friends
And
to
me.
subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we want to hit that 100 subscribers so that we can have an actual link name on YouTube that says Velvet Butcher Shop and it's all professional
Need
and
that
cool
link
like
name.
that. And then if you really, really, really want to support us, Patreon or Ko-fi, Velvet Butcher Shop. Everyone have a happy, whatever you want to celebrate today, I guess.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, really
Thanksgiving.
though, is what you should be having. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.